Hi, Elbergathian Aberrat here, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about planning and about what happens when you get off track. So, I got off track and I didn't plan for a month. I literally, I had kind of planned out January. I was getting into it, and then as you can see, there's these clear spots. I hadn't planned for the first couple of weeks of February. So I'm here, and I'm planning what I'm doing, and I'm thinking, why? My ideal is planning minutely, having complete control over what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, hourly, minute by minute, almost, But the nature of life is you can't micromanage everything. You can micromanage little bits, but you can't micromanage everything. And there are even times where where things get off track and you don't do things as you planned them, and you're doing other things instead. And so when you when you are planning to do something and instead you're doing something else, take some time and go, that's okay. It's okay that I didn't do what I planned to do. I enjoyed what I did. I had fun doing what I did. What I actually did needed to be done. And even if it's whether that's a chore, whether that's resting, whether that's eating, whether that's taking time to spend time with friends, whether that's going and having some fun, maybe you just need to actually plan that into your routine next time, Like, I'm actually, some of the things I planned, okay, so I have piano on Thursday evenings, and so I have to plan in practicing piano. But I also know that the game that I'm obsessed with is having a major update on the 17th. And so I wrote in my calendar that there is an update. So one, I need to set aside time to actually download the update and let the update, let my game update. And then I also know that I'm going to be spending a big chunk of time over these couple of days, and most likely for the next amount of time, I'm going to spend a large chunk of my time, my free time especially, playing my game and playing the new update, playing with the new content release, the new features, that sort of thing. And so I have planned that into my activities. Also, I know that the new Ant-Man movie is also coming out, and that my little brother, who is a huge Marvel fan, will not let us rest until we have seen it. And so that I also know that I probably won't be playing a lot this evening until I get home from the movie, which I can't do until I get home from work. So I'm putting in all of this planning to make sure that the moment I'm able to, that I update my game, like I'm downloading it, because it may take hours to do, so that's updating while I'm doing the other things that I have to do, so that when we go to the movie, I don't have to be fidgeting of like, oh no, what if it's not updating, so there's that. And so I know that since I won't be playing my game on this day, that my game will be updated so I can jump into it this weekend, And so since I also know that that's where I'm going, I actually won't have a lot of time for writing, and especially no brain space for it, because I will be video gaming. Always plan in pencil, you know? So that's what I'll be doing on this Saturday. And so plan in fun just as much as you plan in your work. Planning, not just for work. It's really not just for work. Plan your rest. Make sure you have time to sleep, to sit, to do nothing, to just watch TV, if those are things that you do. Plan in some time to just scroll. But if you do stuff like that, you definitely want to be very careful with that, especially with addictive personalities, executive dysfunction. I have horrible executive dysfunction, so if you get stuck scrolling on TikTok, that's a point where you need to find a habit breaker, especially if that's getting in the way of things you actually want to be doing. So plan in your rest. Plan in your play. Make sure you make time to play. Make time to play, make time to create, make time to do the things you enjoy. Make time for spending time with your family. All of those things. I find so often that I have packed my day full with things that I need to do that I've forgotten to play, that I've forgotten to enjoy what I'm doing. Plan in taking care of yourself. Self-care. This isn't just days at the spa. Take time to plan the time. Plan restroom breaks. Plan water breaks. Plan food and snack breaks. Plan exercise breaks. Plan getting up and walking around. Plan going for a walk. Plan washing your hands. Plan washing your face. Plan a shower. And that way you can really see how much of your time is actually taken up, you know? Because we always talk about how we don't have enough time in the day. And I feel it. I feel it in my bones. But make sure that you take care of yourself. And that's part of rest and play. You need that. You really do need that. And then after you've planned all of this, plan your work. Plan your goals and achievements, those things that you want to do to progress. Those are all so important. And then all of these things are important. And part of planning is you won't do everything on your list every single day. That's just how it is, and that is okay. That is 100% perfectly okay that you're not doing anything. Part of that's just how life is. You do what you can. And honestly, I've been feeling especially over the past few weeks, that I don't have enough time like, I felt like I haven't had the time or energy to do planning, and so I've been restless. You also need to plan planning, because you kind of think, oh, it's gonna happen, you know? If you just kind of like will it, it's like, it's not. It is not going to just happen. You have to plan the time for it. In my ideal world, I would spend 4 to 5 hours one day a week planning the rest of my week. But I am a human being who is busy, and I can't spend that much time. But I can break it up. And I also, there are different kinds of planning sessions that take a different amount of time. So, I actually plan my largest amounts of time and break it up into smaller chunks, you know? So you plan big, and then you plan small. You plan smaller until you get to the smallest piece. And so you'll have things like yearly planning, and that's a big one, often at the end or beginning of a year. And then I don't typically do a 6-month planning. I do 3-month planning. That's just kind of how my world and my time schedule works. Things are done in 3 months, 3-month chunks, and that's actually really because of quarters at work and seasons. And then I'm a weirdo, and because I learned planning on my mission, I do 6-week planning. And that's because I'm a weirdo, because it puts me halfway at the 3-month, because it's a month and 2 weeks. It's 4 weeks and then 2 weeks. It helps me keep rolling over. And especially because that's kind of like where I am now. I've got the last couple of weeks of February, and I'm actually rolling into March right now as I'm planning. And so that gives me the last couple of weeks of February, and then it's March 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish. And between my other plannings, I get to catch everything else. And then I also do monthly planning. And honestly, the 6-week and monthly planning kind of, they keep me rolling. You know, I've got my monthly 6-week, you know, it keeps the momentum up, make sure that I am changing my goals, changing my action plans as I need to. Especially if I get off, or if I go through a burnout, if I need a break, if I'm too busy and don't have the time, energy, mental space to plan, I can pick up at any of these points. And the next step is honestly weekly. Here's my weekly planning session. And so I typically actually like to do these really whenever I kind of have time. Thursdays don't tend to do very well. My Fridays, Sundays, and Mondays do very well for me in planning, because I am it's an end of the week. I get to plan my weekend. Sundays, I have some downtime. Mondays, I'm starting up. I have gone to work. I get kind of like a breakdown of what's going on over my week. I can plan it out. I can put that into my planner. And then daily planning. And the thing about daily planning is it should at most 15 minutes. And honestly, most of the time, that 15 minutes is too much. I usually have it done between 5 and 10. Because you go through, you make your plans so that you can go on with your day. And that way, you know what you're doing, you know what's on the docket for the next day. You have those things in your brain. And the thing is you need to do all of this planning in a way that works for you. Honestly, you don't actually need to do all of this planning. For me, I feel like I don't do all of this all the time because I am an imperfect human being, and so are you. You are not going to hit all of these all the time. And that's the thing. As much as we want to micromanage our days, our weeks, our minutes, we cannot. And that's okay. Things happen. Things happen, and it is good to improvise. Good to step outside of your comfort zone and use that time for something else. Like, you know your patterns, and so you take that into account as you plan, you know? So like I know that when I come home every day, I would love to just jump into the next thing, but I always need some time to decompress. And I always need some time to just talk to my family as I'm coming in the door, as I get home from work. So that might be a 5 to 10 minute exchange. I come home, I put my stuff away as I'm asking everyone about their day, and then I go about doing my next thing. Or it might be hours long conversation, and all of that time right there is taken up with the very important task of socializing, of learning what's going on with my family, you know? And that's okay. I may have been planning to use that time to do a voiceover, to do some editing, to get some very important writing done. But in the end, I needed to spend that time with my family, you know? And that is okay. That is okay, and even better. You can plan for a packed full day of being the most active and progressive and absolutely productive person you can be, and then you get up and the only thing you actually do is sleep. And honestly, you may have just needed to sleep that day. Listen to what's going on, and that's okay. That is okay. You're a human being. Stuff happens. Your body needs rest. And there's balance. You do what you can. You do what you can. It's a push and a pull. Sometimes you just go a month, and then it's like, oh, I'm itching. I need to get planning again. I need to get back on, you know? And that's okay, because you just do what you do. Anyways, what I'm really trying to say here is Go easy on yourself. What's that saying? Take it easy, but take it. Which kind of means it's like, don't stress yourself out over it, but actually do the stuff. It's good. It's okay. And this is just a sample of what I do. And like in a perfect, ideal, I control everything world, I would be doing all of this like clockwork. But I'm a human being and things morph. Time is amorphous. It's wiggly woggly, timely wimey. And I do what I can. And that's all you can do. So I hope that you are inspired. You take some time to do your own little planning. If it's 5 minutes to just look at your day and kind of like write down what you need to do. If you just write down or put into your phone apps what your appointments are, go have fun. Have fun. Know what you're going to be doing, what your tomorrow looks like, what your future looks like. Take control. Fill your time with things that make you happy. And honestly, you'll feel better. You will have a good day. Now, whether you actually did all the stuff that you were planning to do, does not matter. Just take care of yourself because you're important. And the time, what you do with your time, is what makes up you. All right, you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.